Hey, it's Teresa. So bear with me. I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking some taco meat because it's either talking or tacos and I need to eat. So it's either or. So we're going to do a 2-for-1 and I'm going to talk while I make tacos. So it's going to be a little Italian taco night tonight on the Tuesday night. You know, that's always fun. So here we go, Italian taco night. Give you an update. I have some puffy eyes and got some crazy hair because I've been a little upset the last 2 days. Not really for what MD Anderson said. I just had gone through the anger phase. They gave me a grief chart to go through the journey of grief. And so you go through this, and a lot of people skip these 3. If you skip these 3 and go from here to here, this becomes an abscess, and you can't really heal very well. So I have legit been going through the grieving process. So at a high level, first is you protest it, so you're in shock, you have numbness, you have confusion, and it's not reality. I have a thing in my face because of the sunshine. It's actually sunny in Portland. So searching, you do your body and your mind, and then you have physical elements. You can't sleep, you're tired, you have no appetite, your throat tight, you sigh a lot. So I've definitely been just not sleeping. I've been tired. My appetite's gone down. I've lost some weight, which may or may not be good at this point. I don't know. I need all the nutrition I can get because I need to be strong for this thing. So, not doing it on purpose. Then emotions that you go to: sadness, anxiety, fear, guilt, regret, anger, panic. So for me, fear and anger have been going back and forth. And when I just, you don't know what's on the other side and you're waiting for results, and you have all this anxiety going on and you just don't know what awaits you, and it's just terrifying, and fear of dying and all this stuff. So then anger comes in, so they keep switching back and forth. Not so much anger at why is this happening and why me. Don't get me wrong, I've had that, but I'm trying not to question, just trying to pull up my panties and get through this. So a lot of anger has been around the doctors, incompetent doctors that are dropping the ball, and I feel like I'm having to advocate so hard for myself and fight for myself and just scream and yell and kick and scream and scream and scream and scream to get this done and get some test results moving. And so that's where some of this anger is coming from. Then despair rolls in, and that's where you withdraw, you're depressed. Self-destruction, spiritual despair, helplessness, you're bitter. So that's where this comes in. And then you have resignation, and that's where you're having fatigue and exhaustion and numbness go through, and then it goes up from there, and I won't get into that because we're not there, so we'll address that later. But these are the stages that I'm currently in. And when I went to MD Anderson, we found out a couple of things. So it's attached to my pec muscle, which that was new news for me. I didn't realize it was attached, which makes it tricky during surgery because we're going to lose some muscle. So they have to try to separate what's muscle and what's cancer, and they have to take more muscle out, which is fine. We can deal with that. Just, another fun fact. We don't know 100% if it's in my sternum or not. It looks like it is, but we don't know if it's cancer or just something showing up on the MRI. So if it's on my sternum, we're at a 3C, stage 3C. If it's not on my sternum, we're at a 3B. They can't biopsy it right now because you have your heart vessels and things run through there, and it makes it very risky to do. So at this point, we won't know. So we're just somewhere between a C and a B, like my breast. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Okay, so anyway, it's got a 60 to 70% survival rate. I'm not going to focus on the negative. It's better than 0, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to be positive with it because I got a total accident because I'm getting ready to put water in the taco meat. A glass 60% half full is better than nothing, so we will take that. And thank you for tuning in to Teresa's Cooking Show. Also, we found out that they would do the same exact dose. It's called a dose dense, and they would do the exact same dose, maybe just prolong it on the back end Providence was wanting to do a shorter version, and I think OHSU as well. So it's an AC, so you get 2 drugs at once. The first 4 rounds, and that's every other Tuesday, or sorry, every other Wednesday, every other week. And then I go Thursdays and to get the shot to boost the white blood count cells. So they would do the exact same thing, which is fantastic. When she did the exam, the port placement, she's like, why is that so low? I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, normally they put it here in your clavicle area, and mine is down here. So it's almost in my breast. It's in my breast tissue, which isn't going to stop it. Still works, but they put it really low. So now I'm questioning the general surgeon, who's happened to be the person who diagnosed me, which happens to be the person who's dragging her feet to do the biopsy. She told me on the 20th that she was going to do ultrasound and breast biopsy so we can see what we're working with. An old lefty over here. And it's been 17 days, and I have made like 16 phone calls. I kid you not. I have been blowing them up. Because what MD Anderson said is, you need to do that breast biopsy before you do chemo, because it's not that big and it could wipe it out. One thing of chemo could absolutely wipe that out, and we wouldn't know if it's cancer or not, and what kind of cancer it is. Is it hormone positive, or is it not hormone positive or driven by hormones, which takes a different form of chemo. And so I got very angry because I have been chasing that around and chasing that around, and they're just dragging ass. And so when I went to go get the port surgery, because that's the same woman that did it, she's wheeling me back in the OR, and I'm like, hey, so about the port, about the biopsy, where are we at? She's like, yeah, I know. And I've already called her like 10 times by then. So that's huge. That's a giant piece. So they almost wiped out some very important data. So now that's what's pissing me off and making me second guess where we're at on this, because that could change survival, really. So try to be positive. So what I did when I was in the airport, I called them and they could not get me in. I raised hell, and they finally said, well, we can get you in next Monday. Well, I start chemo tomorrow, Wednesday. That's not going to work. So we either need to push chemo back. So I'm either A, do I risk my life and it's spreading to organs and bones to get the biopsy done, or do I go ahead and start chemo and wipe the data out? So I was kind of stuck, didn't know what to do. So luckily MD Anderson let us consult with them. So they suggested, taking the risk and prolonging it. But I got that this morning. But then I called Providence again this morning and went on a rampage. So the crazy Raging Cajun Southern chick came out of me, and then the crazy Colombian came out in Leo, and then she got us both at the same time on speakerphone. And I let them know that this was absolutely unacceptable. This is what MD Anderson said, that they will be doing the biopsy. And she's like, well, we have to do an ultrasound first to know if we need to do the biopsy. And I'm like, well, you need a biopsy. She's like, well, we don't, if it doesn't show up in the ultrasound, then we have to do an MRI biopsy. Okay. And she's like, we can't do them on the same day. Boss, you can do them on the same day, and you will do them on the same day, because you did it on the same day on my right one on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. So I know that you can do this. So she put us on hold. And magically, that was at 8:40 this morning, she said, can you be in at 9:45? So she waved her magic wand and got us in to do the ultrasound. So it showed on there, which is great. So now we're going to do a biopsy. She squeezed me in at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So lucky me, I get a boobie biopsy on my left one and go right into chemo right after, 15 minutes later. So tomorrow's going to suck. Yeah, it is. So that's what we're going to do there, and that's the piece I'm getting mad about, and I have the anger part about. Welcome to the Teresa Cooking Show and the update video. Leo's just getting home from work, so you can see him in his sexy black attire. Hi, everyone.
Howdy.
Howdy. So that's why I'm getting so mad, because I'm constantly having to advocate for myself.
Oh,
See, everybody's pissed. So
very pissed. I do.
I
love you.
I love you too. Aw, guys, he's been the best.
Once you get with your cooking.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cooking show. Sorry for that. He's been amazing. He's been fantastic. Could not ask for a better human being in my life.
That's very sweet, honey. You have to say. That's very sweet.
So now I lost my train of thought.
I'm gonna shower. I love you.
I love
Hi,
you.
everybody.
He's gonna go shower because he smells really bad. So that's kind of what we learned. So now we get biopsy at 7 a.m. and then I gotta start chemo tomorrow. So they're gonna do the same thing that MD Anderson would do, which is the 2-dose dose stents, which is an A and a C together, which is adriamycin and cytoxin, and then we're gonna do that, and then I get a shot, and then on Thursday we're gonna do OHSU and get a consult with them. MD Anderson said that would probably be the best place. So hopefully that works out. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna prepare to pack my bags and go to Houston. So I'm gonna try OHSU because I'm kind of lost, and it's not even the oncologist. I'm gonna say this, it's not the oncologist at Providence, it's the general surgeon. So I demanded to get her off of my account because she's slowing this down, and we don't have time to slow down. I don't have time, it's my life. So yes, I'm gonna turn into a raging lunatic because I'm not done living my life, and we need to get this demon out of my boob so I can continue to live my life and annoy you guys. So that's where we are with MD Anderson. I feel like I'm missing something else, but this is already 12 minutes and you got to see me cook tacos and you got to see lovely Leo. So thank you for my warrior shirt that came in the mail today, Chris, and my Fight Cancer one round at a time socks. Thanks everybody so much. And I will update you soon, and I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I will write it out later. But for the most part, this is the update. They're dragging their butt on the thing, on the biopsy. We almost wiped out some important data. Not okay with that. Lost my cool. So that's that. Happy Taco Tuesday. Bye everybody.